What's up, everybody? This is Urziel99, and today we're playing Hardspace, Shipbreaker. It's an early access game. You can pick it up on Steam, and it's a game about, oddly enough, breaking up ships. Starships, in this case. Now, I already have a game running on OpenShift, which is kind of the unlimited shift timer, and you can remove oxygen drain from your suit, so it's a bit more of a chill experience. A good place to cut your teeth, to learn the complexities. But it's time to go real talk. And that means a standard license. Unlimited clones, but you work on the clock. Time is money. Let's see, humankind has industrialized much of the solar system. Earth has deteriorated into a place of squalor and decay. Worse than now? Oh, okay. In orbit, a new breed of worker has emerged, the Shipbreaker. The labor is extremely dangerous, but for a select few, the hazard pay is worth the risk. Yeah. Shipbreaker accident made away the Galaxy program update on your application status. Greetings, Citizen LF. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of numbers. Congratulations on acceptance of the link paved the way to the space program. 124.8 million applicants who were chosen based on above average exceptional physical and cognitive ability. Participation program will be lucrative and rewarding depending on willingness to follow the vision and processes of Links Corporation. You have been assigned to Salvage Station, designation 42, Oregon. The station currently has no additional personnel, but if you're able to demonstrate the ability to build and grow a profitable operation, a number of exciting opportunities await you. Remember, employment and pave the way to the Galaxy program is at sole discretion of Links, can be revoked at any time. Acts of insubordination and malice will not be tolerated on receipt of your electronic signature. A shuttle will be deployed immediately to your current location to deliver you to your post. Training will commence immediately. Finalize your info on the following pages to confirm employment. So yeah. Okay. Account name. Work effort tracking. Please enter your account name below. Profanity or any corporate slogan jargon is not accepted. Whatever. Select revival package. Body and mind revival program to new employees. Below the details of your revival package. Terran Health Board advisory. Cloning has a 0.02% chance of DNA corruption. You can't change this. This is part of your license, so there's no options here. Unlimited clones, but you pay 150,000 credits every time you have to come back. And that becomes a factor here in a minute. Voice ID verification. Yeah, the only time you hear yourself talking is when you're in pain. Surprise, surprise, because there's no one to talk to. Orientation preference, standard meal preference. Food cost is based on current market value. Chicken, plastic-free, vegetarian, and tomotarian, which I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what this does as far as your cost. But it's like, whatever. Go vegetarian. You can get more nutrients from a wider variety of nutrients from vegetables than you can from meat. Okay, press to agree to each statement. I have no criminal record in the Terran or Martian zones. A record in the Jovian frontier is acceptable. I'm not a member of or ever associated with a workers' union or other labor interest. Surprise, surprise. I have completed my annual medical exam and have been cleared of having McCullough's lung. No idea what that is. I have no commercial or real estate interests on Luna, in the asteroid belt, or in the nation state of Arizona. Okay. I will bring a positive attitude and problem-solving mindset to work every day. I understand and accept the health risks associated by long-term exposure to a van der Waals field. Whatever the hell that is. I will vote for Chancellor Chun-Yang in the Pan-American Senate election. Okay. Let's see. Collect and analyze the biometric data for use to better the lives and well-being of them and their coworkers, or as well as for any other purpose. Surprise, surprise. Permission to links to perform psychological tests at any time, with or without their knowledge. Employee is not entitled to compensation for participation, but may receive additional sugar cube rations. There's a conditioning joke there. Hereby grants permission to links authority to garnish their wages if their actions or lack thereof result in any real or potential losses for the company. Let's see. Perpetuity to record their own DNA and to create new entities with that DNA with no restrictions. Links pays a nominal fee for the service in the event of death while performing duties of their position. Links may execute these entities at any time for acts of gross negligence. Hereby grants permission to links authority to study, manipulate, reciprocate, and duplicate any and all of my gray and white matter at any time. In the unfortunate event of my total and complete loss of memory. Grants permission to transfer any and all unpaid debts owed to links and any other affiliates and next of kin in the event they are terminated, disappear, and or permanently perish. Reserve the right to terminate this contract at any time without notice or payment in lieu with no requirement or sufficient cause. Oh boy.
Each day he steps into the yard to earn his wages working hard. I pray to the stars and heaven above to return my daddy to those he loves. If there comes a time when he and death meet, bless the next cutter that takes his seat.
That's creepy.
Before we jump in here, Cutter, it's customary to observe a moment of silence for a departing shipbreaker. You'll soon learn this type of thing doesn't happen very often up here. Okay. Well, my name is Will. I'll be your eyes and ears when you're in the yard. Used to be a cutter myself until there were some complications with one of my clone jobs, but never you mind about that. Let's get to work. Go ahead and open your work order, and let's get started. You ever want to pay off your debt like Sullivan did? It's all about completing your work orders.
And just basic movement this time.
Alright. These next two maneuvers are tough for most worms to wrap their heads around because most of you have never spent time in zero-G. We call them rolls. Give them a shot. Okay. Well, this here is your trusty training vessel. On it and in it are salvageable objects to cut your teeth with. Let's give her a go, shall we?
All right. Pull the antenna. Just pull it off, and then we chuck it down here to the barge.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Where it gets caught in the grav field, and we just shove it.
Well, congratulations there, Cutter. Your very first pieces of salvage. Another billion or so of them antennas, and you will have completely wiped out your debt. I'm kidding, of course. All right, Cutter. You ready to perform a little zero-G ship surgery? Let's boot up your scanner and see what we see. Now we're looking for cut points. Think of them as the chunks of glue that hold the key structural segments of the ship together. Bingo.
Looking for the yellow parts here. That'll remove like the paneling, and then we can just disassemble the ship. See the smaller, thinner metals, they vaporize under the stinger. And then we can just give that a pop. Then it'll float down into the barge.
Salvage secured. Credits deposit.
And that's what it's all about, Cutter. The more work orders you complete, the closer you get to hitting your certification quotas. Go ahead and see where you're at on earning your first cert. Earning certs gives you access to better upgrades and perks for your tools, gear, and equipment, as well as access to more valuable ships back in your hab. Speaking of which, let's mosey on over to your personal habitation unit right now, because that's what you do when you finish your shift. You didn't think Lex made you sleep out here in the yard, did you? Weaver out.
All right, rank 2, and we made 186,000 credits off what we salvaged. Of course, the problem is we have a current debt of, as you can see, 99,814,000 credits.
Top of the morning to you, Cutter. As you know by now, this is your hat. I know it feels a bit flat right now, but I hear Lynx is looking into fixing it up real nice for you sometime in the near future. Anyway, says here you're gonna need an upgrade to complete your next certification rank. You're gonna like this one, Cutter. Let's check it out now, shall we?
Alright, these are the upgrades available for our equipment. We need to gain ranks to unlock these different upgrades, and they cost Lynx tokens. They've given every work order you complete awards a certain amount of Lynx tokens, so the more work orders you can complete in a shift, the better.
Good. Now let's get back to the yard so you can try this sucker out. Okay, before we hop back in the yard, I want to show you the ship catalog. Here is where you find a selection of ships Lynx has deemed ready for salvage. As I said before, earning certifications will open up higher grade ships. But we gotta learn to walk before we run, Cutter, so let's get back to finishing your plate on that Lynx training vessel. Weaver out. Alright, Cutter, another shift, another credit. Today's goal is to complete your certification rank 2. And in order to do that, we're gonna have to light up that new split saw mode you just upgraded in the hab. Go ahead and equip it now. Nice work there, Cutter. It's time to take the training wheels off and let you loose on this thing. My advice is to knock out your work order first, and then see if you can salvage every last bit of the training vessel. We call it using the whole buffalo. Waste not, want not, right, Cutter? Go get 'em, Tiger.
All right.
Out.
See, the range on this Stinger is very short. Like stupid short. It is breaking away. As you can see here, we just pop it. Now this goes into the... That doesn't actually go in there, but hey. Don't care.
Valuable component incinerated. Penalty has been applied.
Because I put its paneling tits to go into sheeting the blue in the processor, but I put it in the red. I'll chuck that into the... Now, for this furnace, this panel here is aluminum used. Make sure it's clean cuts. You can pull it out.
Level achieved. License upgraded.
We can pull out
Salvage
these.
secured. Account credit applied. Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
And we can be real sticklers about this, and we can just try and get our cuts as clean as possible. Chuck that there till we've accomplished our objective.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Now this is still,
Material deposited.
should mostly be nanocarbon, except for this wall. All right. We should be able to yeet that in there.
Processing valuable objects.
And see, that
Credits
can't be
awarded.
cut. It's not the right material. We can just shove. As you can see, it won't cut there.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited. Deposit accepted.
This should reduce the mass of this remaining piece. It should make it easier to transport. As you can see, nope, 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 nope. Come on. Yep. As you can see, it sucks things in. So if you get too close, as you can see, you get stuck here. It's like shit.
Fire damage. Link's dropped below nominal levels. Please return to work.
Toasty. Well, I can't complete that work order. I'm literally 1 kilogram off. Okay.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Nice job, Cutter. Now get back to your hab to end your shift and spend them shiny new Lynx tokens on upgrading your gear. We've wrapped.
Yay. Let's see the crates. That's all worth money. But I made a boo-boo there. Destroying that nanocarbon, that would have been a fair bit of money.
Well, congratulations on completing certification rank 2 there, Cutter. Now that you've proven you kind of know what you're doing out there, Lynx has a present for you. Go ahead and make your way to the equipment upgrade screen and let's see what we see. Repeat after me, Cutter. Tethers are your friends. Let's select your next ship and head out into the yard to try them out.
Alright. Actual ship.
Alright, Cutter. This here macro is stripped down, but there's still plenty there for us to sink our teeth into, such as how we're going to deal with the pressurized areas. But before we get into all that, let's try out your tethers. Your tethers are far stronger than the line on your grapple. Use them when you're trying to move objects that are much heavier than you are. Also, tethers stack, meaning the more you use, the stronger the pull you get out of them. If you put them in the right place, that is.
Easy peasy. You do only have a limited number of tethers in your capacity. You start with 15, but because we're training, I have infinite tethers. And these are definitely
Nice work, Cutter.
very
Like
useful.
I said, tethers are your friends. Once you get the hang of them, you can get pretty creative with how you use them. Alright, now for the fun stuff. And when I say fun, I mean incredibly dangerous. Next, we're going to learn about pressurization. According to Lynx, decompression events are the #1 cause of death, and as a result, cloning. Alright, let's open up your scanner and see what we see.
It's a much more detailed system here.
Let's see if we can crack into this ship without making her pop. See that airlock over there? Let's go check it out.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Using airlocks is always a good idea, but there may be times later when you encounter ships without functioning airlocks. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, Cutter. For now, let's get inside. Alright, let's see if there's a way to depressurize this sucker so we can get to work on it. Look for an atmosphere regulator. If it's working, this device will let us depressurize the room safely. You don't want to trigger a violent decompression, believe me. There she is, the reactor. That's your meal ticket right there, Cutter. Alright, this one's pretty easy. She should just slide out of her coolant casing with a good yank from your grapple. But before you do that, it's always a good idea to clear a path for her straight to the barge, because once you pull it, she starts melting down. And when it comes to reactors, you never know how many ticks you got till she goes boom.
Alright, so we need to clear a path for this reactor. So as you can see, we just popped those two joists. This floor section pops out. We can just come down and yeet. Now, to safely remove the reactor, because we're already pointed down at the barge, all we have to do is...
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
It'll pull it straight out of the coolant housing. And
New
right,
certification level awarded. License upgraded.
right down into the barge. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now we just got the rest of the ship. See, we do have micro G environment, obviously, because they are moving.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Well, Cutter, looks like you can manage on your own for a bit, which is good, because I just got assigned another worm on a salvage station on the other side of Earth Village. Just a reminder that your training amounts for O2, tethers, and fuel will be reset once you start your next shift. I'll be back to check in on you from time to time, but until then, remember this. Measure twice, cut once, and tethers are your friends. Good luck out there, Cutter.
All right.
We're out.
So we can salvage the rest of this ship and still have unlimited thrusters, fuel, and tethers. So I'm going to go ahead and do exactly that. Another item you can pick up, like this utility key. There are loose items in the world that you can just pick up. Normally there would be a cockpit in here, but that's interesting. Yeah, don't let your laser overheat. It will burn you.
Deposit not accepted.
see that panel was made out of aluminum, so I lost some material there. Now it will eventually slide in because of the gravity.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
But that's the basic gist of the game. As you advance, you get more upgrades for range, increased capacity for lasers so they don't overheat as quickly and cool down faster. Things like that. Let's see what we go. The big ticket item, as you can see, is the reactor. And then the cells. Complex goods are worth more. But we also now start paying rent. So the training wheels are definitely coming off. So you have to make, per day, you have to make a minimum of 500,000 credits just to break even. Before you start working on your debt. The more efficiently you can complete and salvage the ship and disposition the right material to the right area, obviously the faster, the more money you'll make per salvage. The work order completions go towards your cert. As you can see now, we're required to grind credits, salvage certain items, as well as complete work order objectives. The work orders, of course, give you the links tokens that you'll need to upgrade your equipment. And you have to start repairing your items. Really got enough for a couple of cutting edge upgrades. Alright. Let's get back out there one more time just to show you the vending machine and the limits you're going to be dealing with. Alright, 400 seconds worth of oxygen. Here's the terminal.
Welcome to Ventatron 9000.
It costs us money to buy these items. We can patch our suit, buy more tethers when we run out. You see we got fuel for the thrusters, oxygen containers, and repair kits
Have a nice
for when we repair the equipment at the end of shift. Alright, salvage metal, 572 kilograms.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Main thing is we need to get this
Material deposited.
What am I missing? Want to shove this stuff really into yourself too much because you will damage yourself. You can give yourself physics injuries. And if you just damage your suit and helmet too much, you will crack it. You will destroy it.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited. Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited. Deposit accepted.
Hey,
Okay.
cousin, I need you to head back to the kiosk on the starting platform to fill up your O2. Stat. Weaver out.
Alright, since I've done all the work orders, I'm going to go ahead and close the shift. Right. So you saw the kind of conditions we had to deal with. You got 400 seconds of oxygen when you start. But you can buy helmet upgrades that'll increase your capacity to eventually up to 800 seconds. You can also use the recharger. So basically, whenever you stand in a pressurized room, you can, this will allow you to use a pressurized environment to get O2 back into your suit, which is going to be pretty handy in a pinch, because the larger ships have multiple sealed compartments, so you can just like hop into an airlock, or for example, go into the cockpit, close the door behind you, and turn on the atmosphere regulator. So a lot of possibilities with that. But that'll do it for this episode. I'm Mercy 99, and I'll see you next time.